So that brings me to one of the first topics here that we're going to hit is the Denver Broncos potentially being up for sale. They're not yet. They had a great owner for years. Pat Bowlen won a couple Super Bowls. Now they're fighting. They're having some infighting as far as ownership with that team, and it's probably going to go up for sale next spring. And you're hearing big names attached to this one. One of them is Jeff Bezos. You figured eventually the self-described nerd, space cadet, would want to own a football team because his girlfriend probably wants him to. Number one, you also hear Jay-Z being thrown out there repeatedly as a name. And then you're hearing Peyton Manning right now. You know, you're not hearing it from Peyton Manning, but we were talking about this after we went into the Hall of Fame a few weeks ago. What's the next move for him? Ownership? Clearly he's going to have to jump on board some ownership committee, but do you think this is the way it's kind of tracking for Peyton? And he's got the big profile right now on Monday Night Football with that alternate broadcast for ESPN.
Well, he's also got his home now in Denver, and Elway's also throwing his hat in the mix from what I've read. So does Peyton and Elway kind of come together, and they need more money as well as they've done. They don't have NFL ownership money.
You know, the rule in the NFL is you have to have, if you're an owner, at least 30% has to come from you. If you're the primary owner, that's why they're
30% of the whole sale or 30% of whatever your majority stake is?
30% of the sale. So in this case, if they're valued at about $4 billion, it'd be 30% of that, which some people are saying rules out Jay-Z.
1.5 bill?
Yeah. So,
but Jay-Z will have to attach himself to like some Wall Street
True,
guys.
but I think that lead guy has to have 30%. Now, I don't know if he can just latch on to somebody else that does have the money. But when you said Elway, I think of Elway
Jay-Z,
too.
if you need investors, man, I just hit a 5-team parlay over the weekend.
Can we go back? Aren't parlays sucker bets, guys? But that's
Of course they are.
All right.
Of course they are. But you don't
Lotto tickets?
But you don't,
somebody's got to win.
You
Jeffrey,
don't have to
damn
bet
you.
that much, right? It's for fun. So there's only upside. You don't really
I
get
don't want
bummed
to
out.
derail from the franchise talk. But here's the cool thing. We talked about with Jerry Jones a few weeks ago, right? So what did Pat Bowlen buy the Denver Broncos for? $78 million in 1984. $78 million.
You know what?
And now it's going to sell for $4 billion.
You know what always happens with these things is there's always somebody waiting in the weeds, like Steve Cohen with the Mets. You're going to let J-Lo and A-Rod and everybody tell you exactly what the market is. They're going to let them beat away all the other Goldman Sachs guys, and then they're going to come in at the last minute and say, so it's really $4.5 billion? I got 4.7.
Yeah.
Let everybody else do everything they can to get every penny that they know, max out their leverage, and then step in at the last.
Right,
you think Bezos can handle 4.7 billion, guys? I don't know. I mean, there's houses there's 1-bedroom condos in Florida that are going for 125% market value. You think that this thing might end up in the 5.56 billion range?
Just like the Clippers when Steve Ballmer bought it. When you have unlimited funds, the price is whatever you want it to be, right? And no one thought the Clippers were worth $2 billion when he bought them in 2013 or 2014. Now he bought the land where the Forum is on.
Good for Steve Ballmer too, though, man. It's good to see something good happen to rich tech white guys.
Yeah,
for once.
When you consider the percentage of Microsoft he was able to get, right? I don't know how he ended up with so much stock.
Have you ever seen that?
He's worth $100 billion.
Have you ever seen the videos of him and Bill Gates dancing on stage and stuff like that?
He's just a maniac. He's hard to watch. I've seen him at games in person, and he makes you feel uncomfortable just being in his presence.
These are the people ruling the world right now, man.
I know. Okay,
Denver's actually 10th ranked or valued franchise in the NFL, so that's a good buy.
Is it really 10th?
10th. You don't get a lot of top 10 franchises that are up for sale.
How's that seems so high to me.
Yeah, but they have such a loyal fan base. Maybe they own the stadium. I don't know who owns the stadium, if it's the city or if Bowlen actually does.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I don't know either. But they're about 3.75, I think, billion. So that's why they're setting it around 4. But you're right. Depending on the market, it'll go over $4 billion.
It comes down to, that's the biggest boys club there is in the world.
They own Sunday. They own a day of the week.
But they also decide who gets to play in their group, right? So they will decide who they want to own the team. I don't know if they want Jay-Z as far as an ownership. I don't know if they want Jeff Bezos. Do you think they would want Jeff Bezos? Do you think Jimmy Johnson, Robert Kraft, all these really strong owners in the league would welcome in Bezos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of Amazon Prime, because of TV.
Absolutely. I also think they would, and they'd also make him overpay, so that just sets the value higher for every other single team in the NFL.
There's got to be diversity though in ownership. It's coming. Jay-Z may not be the right one, but it's got to happen.
There's been enough ex-players that have expressed interest, and Michael Jordan's done it. It's just not that easy. It's just not easy to put $5-6 billion together.
Diversity for diversity's sake is the wrong way to go about it anyway. Like Artie Moreno out in L.A., Los Angeles Angels. Did it the right way, made his money, invested his money. You know, it doesn't matter that he wasn't, you know, the right type of minority, I suppose. But it's like, you know, listen, man, are you suggesting, I guess, Jeff, that they should take somebody that's offering less money?
No, you're right. It's going to be driven up, but there'll be someone that'll come in with the market value, because at that point, when you get the group together and they'll be the Wall Street guys, 4.5, 4.7.
Well, right here in Miami, Derek Jeter wasn't the one that put up all that money for you know, he leads the group, right? So, but I mean, that's, I guess, what I wasn't really understanding what you were saying earlier. Derek Jeter didn't have to put up 30% of that money.
But that's an MLB rule. Yeah. The NFL has a different rule.
So if you're in a group, right? Because like, look, it's never one person that owns this team. It's never one, unless you're like the NFL's
different. The NFL's different. They have different rules.
Is it 30, Tom? I thought it might have been, I don't know.
You think it's less than 30?
I thought it was 10, actually.
And again, it's Major League Baseball, but even when George Steinbrenner was the boss, I think the most of the Yankees he ever owned was like 39%. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, but again, that's baseball. NFL specifically has a rule where the frontline guy has to have the wealth, the liquid.
Right. And we shouldn't be in the business of deciding what type of minority. To your point, I mean, the owner of the Jaguars, right?
Yeah,
he's Pakistani.
Yeah,
I think it's Shahid Khan.
Sure. And his son is doing amazing things with AEW professional wrestling, by the way. So
right, that's a whole nother
shout out
podcast.
Shout out to AEW.
You think Bezos is going to own a team? He could own the whole damn league if he wanted to. He could buy every team. Especially,
does he have any interest in it outside of the fact that the NFL is just a nonstop ATM machine?
That's it. I think he looks at it as a straight investment.
I mean, if
that's
you talk
I don't think he's a big NFL
about that
fan.
boys club, owning the NFL is like the pinnacle of owning something.
Hey, I'll tell you another thing. When you have guys like that are that powerful and that big, and they're coming off a marriage that maybe didn't go well, and they're now onto a second one where they're with someone younger, more vibrant, they can drive you into doing things you're not sure you always wanted to do. These women have power. If his girlfriend is really interested in him owning an NFL team, he can go buy one, just like he could go buy a new sports car, or an average person could go do that. So he's going to be an owner in professional sports. The NFL is the best. It's the only one that makes sense. He's not going to own an NHL team, right? Seattle's already taken care of in that regard.
And they've all increased in value. They go
constantly. It's impossible for it to go down.
We might talk about Tampa Bay later and a certain quarterback, but the Bucks increased 29% in value.
Not bad.
Just by him showing up.
Just by showing up. Tom Brady. $660 million increase.
Yeah. I like John Elway as a potential owner. He's gonna be that guy that lays in the weeds. He's smart, and you know what he's done as an administrator and running a team. He got his Super Bowl. He had Peyton Manning. I don't think he wants to be attached at the hip with Peyton. I think John Elway does this himself somehow. Yeah. He might have. I mean, his car dealerships.
He brings back Brock Osweiler to run the franchise.
That's the name. I mean, he comes riding in on a white stallion and saves the day. Hey, thanks so much for checking out that short clip from Sports Now with Tom Zenner. If you want to see another short clip, click right here. Or if you want to see the entire episode, click right here. Thanks for watching, everybody.